Welcome to the 2012 commencement ceremony of this 5th graduating class of the Barnegat High School. Joining us to present the flag are the members of the Junior ROTC program. The members of the Guard are Joshua Doles, Nicholas Lang, Robert DeCandia, and Brent Shiner. The squad is trained by Colonel Mestemaker, United States Air Force, retired. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I ask that all graduates and guests remain standing as the national anthem is sung by members of the select choir. Will members of the select choir please go to the microphone with Mrs. Altanji? I would be remiss to disregard what must be on everyone's minds right now. To those of you who know me, yes, I sound a little different. To those of you who do not, I will have you know that as late as yesterday, my voice was a timorous echo of the one I address you with this evening. The change I made, the way I speak to you this evening, is the result of a decision I made yesterday. A decision that was accidental and deliberate. Yesterday, I decided to be heard. I decided to stand before my peers and community confidently and unshaken, because I have realized that what I say deserves to be heard. We are all, in one way or another, in the same situation, grasping for a voice and the courage to sound it. This voice does not have to have the literal meaning that it has had for me, but it represents the values and the goals that each of us has. I ask you to consider what your voice is, what you believe in, what you respect, what you dream for, and I ask you whether you have the guts to sound it, to stick to it, to uphold it, even when you are told otherwise. I pose these questions because I know for certain that we each have a voice to be heard. I know that we all have something important to say, and I know that we will never be silenced. I invite Serena Badgerow, Executive Board President, to MC our night.
Beginning our ceremony tonight was Cristino Miranda Paquin. Cristino had the unique honor of being this graduating class's salutatorian. As you know, the salutatorian is a student with the second highest GPA. Let's congratulate Cristino for his accomplishments. It is now my pleasure to welcome the senior class advisor, Ms. Hawley. Ms. Hawley has done many things to enrich the class of 2012's experience this year.
Welcome, proud parents, grandparents, family, and friends, and the class of 2012. Good evening. It is an honor to be here tonight with you. I had the fortunate opportunity to take over as your advisor for the second half of your senior year. I would like to first welcome the Board of Education, President Mrs. Becker, Vice President Mrs. Pawlowski, and members Mr. Caputo, Mrs. Sarno, Mr. Adorno, Mr. Cloak, Mr. Hauser, and Mr. Mahalik. I'd also like to welcome Board Secretary Mr. Dean Allison and our Township Committee members Len Morano, Jeff Melchiondo, Al Billy, Martin Lasella, and our Mayor, Al Cirilli. I'd also like to welcome our Superintendent, Mrs. Wood, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Mr. Scotto, District Supervisors, Mrs. LaBruna and Mrs. Crementi, Supervisor of Special Education, Mrs. Rogers, and our high school administration, Principal, Dr. Saxton, Vice Principals, Mrs. Everly and Mr. McShaffrey, and our Athletic Director, Mr. Germano. To the class of 2012, you are now about to enter the real world, where life is going to be your teacher now. There are no more A's or F's, but successes and disappointments. Trust me, you will have plenty of both, and it is often those disappointments you learn the most from. It will be your reactions to those disappointments that shape the person you are to become. Despite all the things that you have learned throughout your life, there are certain things that can never be taught. You just have to develop them on your own. Graciousness, kindness, and compassion. But your success or failure in the world depends upon them. After hearing all of the thank yous from all of you these last couple of weeks, I have no doubt that the successes will come your way. You are all very special to me. I look out at all of you, and I see flashes of shared memories and moments with all of you. Thank you for those memories and for letting me become part of your class. You will always have a special place in my heart and here at BHS. So as you leave here tonight, have confidence. You have just completed the first step towards the opportunities the world has to offer, whether it means going to college, joining the military, or getting a full-time job. Do not be afraid to take that next step. Show the world the dedication, intelligence, and graciousness you possess inside, and I guarantee you'll be on top. Promise me, promise all of us, when tomorrow comes, take what you have learned here at BHS and impress life, your new teacher. I wish you the best of luck and much success and happiness in the future. And to leave with this piece of advice, it's nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice. Congratulations. I want to invite the senior class officers and Dr. Saxon forward to present the class gift. Will Kevin Acalano, our president, Brittany Elsasser, our vice president, PJ Pansini, our treasurer, and Dakota Schrantz, secretary.
On behalf of the senior class, I am proud to present a donation to BHS towards the purchase of an entrance sign as this year's senior gift.
Thank you, Ms. Hawley and senior officers. It is now my distinct privilege to introduce to you this year's valedictorian, Dylan Anthony Manfredi. Dylan is an extraordinary student who has attained this high honor by his strong academic performance. He was the valedictorian at the Brackman Middle School and will be attending the University of Pennsylvania in the fall. Dylan demonstrates excellence in all he does. I present to you Dylan Anthony Manfredi.
This speech goes out to all the sexy ladies out there. You know who you are. Now, before I begin, I would like to thank a few very important people in my life. I'd like to thank my mom and dad for their continued love and support. I'd like to thank my grandma for encouraging me to sing, and my grandpa for always encouraging me to question the world around me. I'd like to thank Dr. Saxon, Miss Sylvia, and Robert Haywood Taglang for his awesome middle name. I'd like to thank Tony Rizzo for being Tony Rizzo. That's right. I'd like to thank Mr. Massey for being the most vivacious person I know. I'd like to holla at Temethel Jala. Thanks for all those funny moments in health class. I'd like to thank Miss Pearl for her continued assistance in physics. I'd like to thank God that I'm here today. I'd like to thank Evan and Paul for showing the crowd how to slow dance at my last performance. I'd like to thank Miss Quick for putting up with Grant's lame math jokes like, I want to be your derivative so I can lay tangent to your curves. Last, but certainly not least, I'd like to thank my good friend Connor Blanchard for showing up to graduation. Good job, buddy. We've all come very far. We entered high school with freshman fear. Now we leave with senior swag. Over the years, we have learned many things. We have learned that the definition of an oxymoron is not Billy Mays. We have learned that reading books is not necessary, thanks to SparkNotes. We have also learned to never trust a substitute that reads your palms, Mr. Bot. You know it. We have also had our fair share of fond memories. We've seen Brendan Jacobs' lowrider nearly blow up in our very own parking lot. We've had our cheerleaders win third in the nation, mind you, for the third year in a row. We even had Brendan Rainsford single-handedly take down Wee Tip. Yet we are still left with many questions. What happened to Sebastian Duffy? Did Tim Marseglia's grandfather really fight in Nam? What is freedom, Vinny? As we move on to a new stage in our lives, we will miss the things we often took for granted. We'll miss the smiles that fade away. We'll miss the morning announcements that no one listened to. Now, how's that for classy, Barnegat? We'll miss Chicken Wednesday. We'll miss VG Walkout and how well that turned out. We'll miss the fights at PPG that never happened. We'll miss that janitor that kind of looks like Rambo. Rambo. We'll even miss outside lunch. Wait, that didn't happen either. Even though we'll grow to miss these things, it is important to look forward. A wise man once said, if Barnegat High School was the best years of your life, you did life wrong. However, I cannot completely agree. Barnegat High School has left an indelible imprint on the fabric of our identities. While this mark will grow faded with time, it can never be erased. Today we can recognize that Barnegat High School has served its purpose for all of us. It has served as a stepping stone to greater things like cleaning toilets at McDonald's or graduating from an Ivy League school with a degree in physics. Wherever your education experiences at Barnegat High School lead you, just make certain that whatever you do makes you happy. Over the years, I've been given many pieces of invaluable wisdom. I'd like to share just a few with you. Everything is attainable except 100 in Miss Hoyt's creative writing class. Never judge a book by its cover unless the book is Katy Perry. It's only bad when you get caught. This one's from my grandma. Eat more, you're going to die, Dylan. Smile. It'll make people think you're up to something. Always strive to be the supreme heavyweight champion of everything awesome. Thanks, Mr. Kefner. Wear clean underwear, because you never know. Go home. You don't need extra help. That last one right there is from Miss Quick. I'd like to thank her personally. She was definitely right. This final statement has resounded within me for quite some time. It's helped me find my inner strength. I think everyone else here has found this inner strength at Barnegat High School, and for that, everyone deserves a wholesome round of applause. The parents here are no exception. They have been instrumental in their children's success and deserve just as much applause. And with that, I encourage you to be good, be safe, be smart, be nice, make good decisions, and of course, rock on. And don't forget, everyone, YOLO.
Thank you, Dylan. A musical selection will now be performed by the Select Choir under the direction of Miss Natalie Altanji. They will be singing Time to Say Goodbye. Will the Select Choir come to the microphones, please? Thank you, Mrs. Altanji and the select choir. Mr. Al Cerulli, Mayor of Barnegat Township, will now say a few words. Mayor Cerulli, we are honored to have you here today.
Thank you. Right behind me.
Oh, you're behind me.
Good evening. Tonight we honor the graduating class of 2012. Wow, 13 years of education. What a tremendous accomplishment. You did it. You made it through all the trials, tribulations, and girls, the drama. Your journey started when your parents, especially your moms, putting their most precious belonging, you, on the school bus or drove you to kindergarten. Ask your mom or your dad if they had tears in their eyes or actually cried. They were there and provided the foundation for you to succeed. Without them, your teachers and counselors could not have gotten you here tonight. Remember to thank them. Now you are ready to move on to pursue careers through college, the military, trade school, or directly enter the workforce. It won't be easy considering the economic and political climate that we are in. There are tremendous changes taking place on a worldwide basis. Our way of life in this nation has been changed by corruption, greed, immorality, lack of ethics, and the attempt to push aside God and the principles that He gave us to live by. This has been a process that has been going on since the 1960s. Tonight is a celebration and the realization that the future of this nation will rest in your hands. Every one of you has a predestined future to fulfill. You all know the difference between right and wrong and have been given the ability to succeed. No matter what jobs you have or obstacles that you face during your life, give it the best you have and always know that you are not alone. Never forget the fact that at the end of our time on this earth, we will stand before our Creator and be held accountable for what we did with our lives. In closing, let me quote from an unknown author. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. May you live your life so that when you die, the world will cry and you will rejoice. Congratulations on a job well done, and may God bless you in your future endeavors. And that I ask in the name of Jesus. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Kevin Joseph Acalano Jr. was our leader. As senior class president, he has a few words to share with his classmates.
As senior class president, I have the privilege and honor to address not only the parents, guardians, mentors, teachers, but most importantly, Barnegat High School's graduating class of 2012 on this momentous occasion. Even though we are here to celebrate the successes of each student, it is essential to recognize the people in our lives who have always believed in us when we felt no one else did. Those who gave us hope and helped us to persevere, because it is those special individuals that we strive to make proud. I ask you, seniors, think of each person who has made such an impact on your life, and remember the genuine efforts made to ensure your success. It is because of these diverse people we seniors are ahead of most. Collectively, we have gained the characteristics such as leadership, integrity, accountability, and compassion. Each of these qualities is imperative for success, especially in our nation's current economic and social condition. As a transfer student, I am able to recognize that we, the students of Barnegat High School, are being offered one of the best educations present in the state of New Jersey, which is vital for excellence in our future endeavors. It does not matter if you attended a different elementary school, middle school, or transferred. Barnegat High School has a place for every single student. As the summer before sophomore year came to an end, my family and I moved to Barnegat. This meant a new community, new school, and new peers. Even though I was initially doubtful and full of anxiety, I decided to make a promise to myself. This promise was that I would go into Barnegat High School with an agenda. That agenda being that no matter how tough things may be, or how defeated I feel, I will successfully make a name for myself as a leader of Barnegat High School. My goal was to surprise people with the different gifts and qualities I possess and have to offer, whether they are accepted or not. Of course, it all may seem simple, but the road has been long and difficult. The things in life that we want seem to be far and impossible because of the limitations we put upon ourselves. So in order to succeed, I pursued building confidence and was able to diligently meet the multiple goals I set forth. And it is why I stand before you today. Each and every student has the potential to be a beneficial member of society, but it takes motivation, hard work, and persistence. The world is calling for people to step up. I ask you, seniors, do you accept the challenge? Life moves at a fast pace, and I believe it to be all about moments. They come and go, and it is what we do in each moment that we will remember for the rest of our lives. Our high school years are similar in this way. So I ask you, seniors, take one moment. Look to your left. Look to your right. Look at the faces of your peers just one more time. This just may be the last time you may ever see this group together again. And like time, moments, or life, it is impossible to pause, rewind, or even sadly, DVR. That is why we must not be ungrateful, but instead appreciative for every single moment we have. Our high school years have come and gone in an instant, and today and the rest of the summer, we will prepare for our own journey, whether it is joining the workforce, military, or continuing on in the pursuit of higher education. The different life choices we make may carry us near and or far, but your home and roots will always and forever remain here at BHS. And that is why I refuse to say goodbye, but see you later. There will come a time in the future where we will meet again, and it will only seem like a moment ago that we saw each other last. Class of 2012, I wish you only the very best life has to offer, but it is all up to you. Make it a great life or not, the choice is yours.
Ms. Lisa Becker, Board President, would you please come and share your thoughts with this graduating class?
On a lighter side, this is it, June 12th, 2012. The last time that Dr. Saxton, the Barnegat Township Board of Education, or the law can require you to attend a public school event. Now, what's even better is June 13th. That's the game changer. Tomorrow morning, there'll be no 6 a.m. alarm. No mom, no dad, no siblings, no grandparents screaming that you're going to be late for school. No rush to the bus stop, no line of cars up Bengal Boulevard, and no 7:10 bell. Tomorrow, you are no longer a high school student, but you will still and always will be a Bengal. Your class, the class of 2012, broke new ground and brought to Barnegat distinctions unanticipated for such a young school. Within the black caps and gowns of the 5th graduating class seated on the floor are students whose accomplishments, academic, athletic, artistic, can be held up in pride against any school in this county, this state, and this nation. The list is long and now emblazoned into Barnegat school history. So many teams made it to playoffs, some bringing home a state title. So many clubs brought history to life and integrated service from school to community. ROTC went to nationals for drill team. So many kids in your class and classmates, first Ivy League bound, first female athletic athlete going on to a Division I school, and once again the highest percentage of academic athletes signed to Division I schools. First in dramatic arts and thespian competitions, band, choral, and individual music recognitions, and the first Bengal ever to be drafted out of high school in the major leagues. Yes, you've navigated 13 years of required school and done it with style. And as you cross this stage, you'll be handed a diploma, technically a paycheck for 2,400 days of hard labor, or, as we term it, 19,000 hours of mandatory enrichment. Yes, you've completed the hardest part of your journey through life. This is the takeoff. And where you go from here is an itinerary yet to be booked. So as I congratulate you on behalf of a very proud Board of Education, and thank you for your contributions to your school community and Bengal history, I leave you with these words, not mine, but from some great New Jersey natives and songwriters. Springsteen will shout at you, "Baby, you're born to run." And Bon Jovi will remind you that you can go home because there's only one place that'll call you their own, Barnegat. Congratulations.
Finally, it is my honor to invite Ms. Karen Wood, Barnegat Township School Superintendent, to the microphone. I personally would like to thank Ms. Wood for all the work she has done in bringing us to this day. She is truly appreciated.
This is a really tough act to follow. Obviously, I have remarks prepared, but I am honored to be here. I'm so excited and so proud of all of you. The remarks by our students, by Mrs. Becker, the president, Mayor Cerulli, and of course the performances by our select choir have just been outstanding. So I'm very, very proud and very excited to be with you, my first graduating class, the class of 2012. Good evening to our graduates, proud families, faculty and staff, administrators, Mr. Mayor, members of the Township Committee, and members of the Barnegat Township Board of Education. What an exciting night for our graduates, the Barnegat High School class of 2012. I'm sure you've recently heard advice from family and friends. Perhaps you've also heard advice from coaches and administrators. And yes, true to the tradition of graduation ceremonies all across the nation, you will now hear advice from the superintendent of schools. I wanted to share with you some advice that I feel is simply timeless, no matter your age or situation. As you listen, think about how this advice applies to your future. It was written by Robert Fulghum, who says, "All I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten." That seems like such a long time ago, doesn't it? Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in the sand pile at school. These are the things that he said. Share everything, play fair, don't hit people, put things back where you found them, clean up your own mess, don't take things that aren't yours, say you're sorry when you hurt somebody, wash your hands before you eat, flush, it's on the list. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you, and I would agree with that. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some, and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out in the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands and stick together. Be aware of wonder. Remember the little seed in the styrofoam cup? The roots go down and the plant goes up, and nobody really knows how or why, but we are all like that. Goldfish and hamsters and white mice and even the little seeds in the styrofoam cup, they all die, and so do we. And then remember the Dick and Jane books and the first word you learned, the biggest word of all, look. I implore you now to look. Look at your friends, your family, parents, guardians, relatives, coaches, teachers, administrators, and mentors. Look at us. We are all here for you. reminding you that all you learned in kindergarten can still be applied tonight at graduation and as you make your mark in the world. So my advice to you this evening is to take your time, pause, stop, listen, say thank you, reflect, and celebrate. These last 2 weeks of frenetic anxiety in anticipation of graduation have probably been a whirlwind of emotions, an exciting roller coaster ride. Well, that ride ends tonight, and so does high school, but with it brings great opportunity, excitement, and joy for your future. So whether you're off to college, the military, trade school, or into the workforce, remember what you learned here in Barnegat, and yes, maybe even in kindergarten. It is still true, no matter how old you are, when you go out into the world, it is best to hold hands and stick together. I wish you all the success and accolades you deserve. Congratulations to the Barnegat High School graduating class of 2012.
The definition of pride does not lie within the pages of a book. It is defined by those who express and embrace it. Collectively, we are assembled as a pack, a unified front that is equipped to conquer any obstacle. We have successfully navigated through high school, and now, I am proud to say, we are ready to embark on the next phase of our ultimate journey. We stepped into these halls in 2008. It's hard to believe that we're gathered here today, graduating. I cannot help but reminisce on all the wonderful things we have taken and contributed to Barnegat High School. Perhaps no other class has experienced the academic, athletic, and artistic successes that we have enjoyed throughout these past 4 years. And for that, I am truly thankful that I had the opportunity to be part of such magnificence. The spark that started when we entered this school has grown into a wildfire. Together, we spread our pride in our school, our teachers, our parents, and our friends. We have left our mark on BHS, and now we are ready to move on. We banded together to collect over 4,000 food items during the fall. We collected over 1,500 toys in the winter. When we come together and function as a unit, there is no limit to what we can achieve. We have some of the top-ranked athletes, scholars, and artists in the state and in the nation. I cannot successfully put into words my pride for our school and our class. It's remarkable how one instance, one person, or one class can change your life forever. We are the Barnegat High School class of 2012. The world is not ending. We really are taking over. On that note, I sincerely wish you all the best of luck with your bright futures. I know for a fact you will all outshine the sun, bringing pride not just to family and friends, but to this success-filled institution that has manifested greatness in all of us, that is Barnegat High School. Thank you. Dr. Saxton, would you please come to the microphone and present the class of 2012 for graduation?
The class of 2012 will be receiving diplomas, a proclamation certificate from Mayor Al Cerulli, and a certificate of completion of community service hours at Barnegat High School. It is with great pleasure that I present to you the Barnegat High School graduating class of 2012. They have fulfilled all the requirements for graduation as outlined by the New Jersey State Department of Education and the Barnegat Township Board of Education. Students, prepare to receive your diplomas. Mrs. Becker, would you please come to the front to help us to hand out diplomas? And Mrs. Eberly and Mr. McShaffrey, would you please join me on the dais? Valedictorian Dylan Anthony Manfredi. Salutatorian Cristino Miranda Packwing Jr. Executive Class President Serena Mary Badrow. Executive Vice President Stephanie Ann Butler. Executive Class Secretary Ryan Thornberry. Senior Class President Kevin Joseph Aquilano Jr. Senior Class Vice President Brittany Beth Elsasser. Senior Class Secretary Dakota Ray Schrantz. Senior Class Treasurer Paul Jack Pansini. Joseph G. Adrinola. Dominic Alexander Agresta. Tyler Alvarez. David Anthony Arroyo. Lucas Perry Aviles. Alexander Michael Bailey. Grant Lewis Bilker. Nicholas James Bishop. Connor Mark Blanchard. Ty Christopher Booker. Brianna Marie Adams. Quintessa Joque Baker. Alina Lisa Barrett. Lauren Benita Barrett. Rachel Monet Bossicott. Melissa Marie Bell. Brittany Marie Bergen. Christina Elizabeth Bernal. Courtney May Blanchard. Samantha Ray Boulanese. Gotcha. Are they taking pictures on the other side? Go tell him. Jamming us up too much. He's got to go faster. Thank you, Mrs. Becker. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Hauser to come to the front. Matthew Robert Bruno. Michael Edward Bruno. William John Caffin. Vincent Anthony Calderon. Sean Daniel Carroll. Joseph Amador Ciaro. Christian Deshaun Clark. Matthew Liam Cox. Jeremy Joseph Szymanski. Gregory Michael DeBiase. Genesis Milagro Bonilla Madrid. Jennifer Nicole Bosco. Carol Ann Elizabeth Boyle. Catherine Alicia Brennan. Jessica Lee Burke. Crystal Ann Burkhard. Nadia Nicole Cabrera Mazio. Valerie Dakota Carcassis. Stephanie Marie Cardoso. Caitlin Haley Karuba. Dante Rafael DeCapua. John Edward Dowd. Dennis Richard Downs. Michael Jared Duncan. Wayne William Ebley. Michael W. Elliott. Michael Joseph Essig. Brandon Thomas Farrell. Seth Anthony Favor. Thank you, Mr. Hauser. I appreciate it. Mr. Adorno, can you help us pass out diplomas, please? Brianne Renee Cassan. Serena Marissa Celestino. Devanann Marie Sortissimo. Danielle Lee Chiarella. Kayla Dawn Shamara. Desiree Nicole Clark. Megan Tyler Connors. Alexis Michelle Conti. Alexis Nicole Corbett. Kyle Stephen Fisher. William Freeman. Michael W. Fischello. Sean Michael Gankars. Nicholas James Geller. Paul Hosea Gibson. Alexander Jordan Golden. William Arthur Gross. Bradley Dean Gilbo. Carissa Crombie. Adrienne Cacello. Junior Nicole DeRosa, graduating early. Melissa Ann DeBiase. Kristen Ray DeSico. Cimarol Demopoulos. Christina M. Duvall. Sandra Nadine DeGrazio. Taylor Ann Dino. Thank you, Mr. Adorno. Mr. Mahalik, can you help us pass out diplomas, please? And Mrs. Becker, we have a special one for you. Scott Michael Harris, Jr. Clinton W. Hoffman, Jr. Trevon Dominique Holland. Anthony John Ieria III. James David Jackson. Brandon Mackenzie Jacobs. Andrew James Cantonwine. Anthony Pasquale Catmeyer. Micah Matthew Coffey. Michael Albert Labrie. Laura Lee Esposito. Julianne Dolores Fama. Jennifer Lynn Ferrara. Kelly Eileen Flavin. Olivia Caitlin Ford. Jessica Simone Fox. Jane Patricia Gack. Amanda Rose Genovese. Amanda Morgan Glowacki. Ashley Morgan Glowacki. Thank you, Mr. Mahalik. Mr. Caputo, would you help us to pass out diplomas, please? Spencer James Lane. Carl Henry Leganer. Evan Robert Linton. Kevin Anthony Lodato. Matthew Nicholas Latito. Omar A. Mancio. Maximo Manguel. Timothy Aiden Marseglia. Joseph Ryan Martinez. Mark Daniel McCoy. Rebecca Lee Gonter. Yesenia Gonzalez. Nicolette Elizabeth Greco. Erin Lynn Horseman. Gabriella Victoria Isavoli. Carrie Lynn Jablonski. Tom Ethel Setu Jala. Courtney V. Jankowski. Erica Jinks. Amanda Carolyn Labricio. Thank you very much, Mr. Caputo. Mr. Cloak, would you help us distribute diplomas? Thomas James McDonald. Aaron McGugan. Anthony W. McGugan, Jr. Samuel Carl McMahon. Evan Andrew McGill. Nicholas Paul Merced. Wade Maurice Mills. Dakota Andrew Morose. Ryan John Morris. Tyler James Moss. Gianna Marie Latinsky. Michelle Lee Lombardi. Courtney Michelle Luther Jr., graduating early. Gabrielle Loop. Christine McCrae. Jessica Lauren Millette. Kelly Rose Maloney. Amanda Lee Marandola. Brenna Dawn Markham. Michelle Rose Marold. James E. Nacion IV. Zachary Nanashko. Jesse Noakes. James Ray P. Norris. Christopher John Parmigiano. Michael Edwin Plantamura. Earl Devon Peoples III. Christopher Pomnitz. Brendan Francis Rainsford. Daniel Evan Race. Angelica Marina Marquez. Taylor Marie Marsack. Caitlin Lauren Martinez. Jameson Marie Maruka. Carrie Lynn Massey. Olivia Marie McGlynn. Stacy Lynn Michael. Celine Marilyn Montana. Allison Tierney Moran. Elizabeth Morris. Thank you, Mr. Cloak. Mrs. Pulaski, would you please join us to distribute diplomas? Justin Edwin Ramos. Louis Nicholas Reynolds. Joseph Alexander Rivera. Nicholas Rivers. Anthony John Rizzo. James Edward Robinson. Jeremy Stephen Rotolo. Curtis Rush. Jordan Salt. Sean Sanders. Kelsey Megan Mozart. Florencia Daniela Nieves. Teresa Pastori. Jessica Marie Pepinella. Jennifer Rose Persamanos. Corey Lynn Farrow. Mariah Caroline Pilchman. Nicole Polofsky. Ashley Noel Pitt. Caitlin Ann Preswadik. Paul Francis Santola. Jesse Christian Schoenberger. Matthew James Schofield. Stanley Nicholas Scutro. Adrian A. Shenfield. David Thomas Smithman. Eugene David Steinhauer. Amos James Stott. Robert Haywood Taglang. Stephen Tancredi. Justine Rio Pulig. Brianna Nicole Quigley. Jamie Danielle Quigley. Cassandra Taylor Quinn. Kayla Bree Radin. Faith Marie Roberts. Erica Ann Rush. Danielle Ryland. Lauren Saponara. Brianna Mary Scaglione. Thank you, Mrs. Polofsky. Mrs. Sarno, can you join us to help distribute diplomas? Brian Michael Phelan. You got it. Argeo Torres. Thomas Peter Tropia. Malik Jarvis Tucker. Jerry Michael Van Brunt. Raymond Michael Waskowitz. Ronald Kenneth Wolfgang. Nicholas Michael Zoldos. Ezekiel Nicholas Subko. Jessica Segarra Jr., graduating early. Lauren Elizabeth Spain. Alexis Leah Thomas. Courtney Taylor Travinsky. Shanna Christine Van Horn. Stephanie Van Wagner. Kayleen N. Vargas. Elena Ann Velez, Jr., graduating early. Kayla Brianna Velez. Miranda Catherine Ward Wellington. Amy Elizabeth Washi. Karina Wesley. Kimberly Ann Young. Rebecca Alexandra Zuniga. Samantha Alexis Zuniga. Monet Q. Powell. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sarno. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2012. At this time, I'm going to ask if Michelle Lombardi and Nicole Pulaski will come to the music area and prepare to share a song with your class.
May the angels protect you, and trouble neglects you, and heaven accept you when it's time to go home. May you always have plenty, the glass never empty. Know in your belly you're never alone. May your tears come from laughing. You find friends worth having with every year passing. They mean more than gold. May you win but stay humble. Smile more than grumble, and know when you stumble, you're never alone. Never alone. Never alone. I'll be in every beat of your heart when you face the unknown. Wherever you fly, this isn't goodbye. My love will follow you, stay with you, baby, you're never alone. Well, I have to be honest, as much as I want it, I'm not gonna promise that the cold winds won't blow. So when hard times have found you and your fears surround you, wrap my love around you, you're never alone. Never alone. Never alone. I'll be in every beat of your heart when you face the unknown. Wherever you fly, this isn't goodbye. My love will follow you, stay with you, baby, you're never alone. May the angels protect you, trouble neglect you, and heaven accept you when it's time to go home. And when hard times have found you and your fears surround you, wrap my love around you, you're never alone. Never alone. Never alone. I'll be in every beat of your heart when you face the unknown. Wherever you fly, this isn't goodbye. My love will follow you, stay with you, baby, you're never alone. My love will follow you, stay with you, baby, you're never alone. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Michelle and Nicole. Well, class of 2012, it's time to say goodbye. In about 5 minutes. Going last leaves me with not a whole lot to say. Some of you may appreciate that. You've already heard how well you've done on the field of athletics, how well you've done at the national, the state, the local level. You've heard about the different acceptances that you've brought to our school in terms of recognition of good colleges. You've heard about the food drive and the toy drive, and it's part of your legacy. So it really doesn't leave me with much left to say, except maybe a word of wisdom. This is a word of wisdom for today. There was an elderly carpenter who was about to retire, and he told his employer contractor of his plans to leave the house building business and leave a more leisurely life with his wife, because he wanted to enjoy his extended family. He would miss the paycheck, but he needed to retire. He figured they would get by. The contractor was sorry to see his good worker go and asked him if he could build just one more house as a personal favor. The carpenter said yes, but in time it was easy to see that his heart was not in his work. He resorted to shoddy and sloppy workmanship, and he used inferior materials. And it was an unfortunate way to end a dedicated life. When the carpenter finished his work, the employer came to inspect his house. And as they were walking in the front door, the employer handed the front door key to the carpenter and said, "This is your house, my gift to you." The carpenter was shocked. "What a shame," he said to himself. If he had only known he was building his own house, he would have done it all so differently. So it is with us this evening as we step into the future that waits just beyond our horizons. We build our lives one day at a time, sometimes putting less than our best into the house that we have built. And when we look back, if we could do it over again, we do it much better. But we can't go back. You are the carpenter. Every day, from this day forward, when you hammer a nail or place a board or erect a wall, you are building your life one action and one choice at a time. Someone once said that life's a do-it-yourself project, and your attitudes and the choices you make today build the house you live in tomorrow. And our greatest hope for you is that down the road, when you have the chance to walk into a house of your own building, you can look back with great satisfaction and say, "This is a good thing." And isn't that what commencement's about? A promotion into real life, to go out on your own, to make your own decisions? Build wisely, my friends. Make your life relevant. A relevant life is an achievement, not something that falls into your lap because you're a nice person, or because mom or dad gets it from the caterer for you. So as we end this night, class of 2012, get after it. Climb that mountain. Conquer that fear. Do something small in a gigantic way. And always remember what's important in life. Find something worth living for, whatever it is, and chase after it with all your heart. And like a child chasing after a butterfly in the wind, that causes that child to reach out just beyond where he or she thought he or she could go, and then finally find itself someplace else. I hope you find something that gives you passion and purpose and meaning, and pulls you into something far larger than you can ever have imagined. Something far wonderful, that you discovered things in your life that you did not know were there. Congratulations. And in whatever ways and shape you can, make for yourself a life that is built well. Someone once said that beautiful young people are acts of nature, but beautiful old people are works of art. And our hope is that you become not just beautiful young people, but you grow into works of art. You know, Kevin Aquilano said, "Make it a great life or not. The choice is yours," so you know that. So Barnegat, because you are, all I can say is, keep it classy in all you do. At this time, I'm going to ask the executive board officers of the class of 2012 to please stand and join me on the stage. They are Serena Mary Badrow, the executive class president, Stephanie Ann Butler, the executive vice president, and Ryan Thornberry. In just a second, we are going to do the ceremony of tassels and celebrate. And at that, once we have concluded with that, we are going to recess. I'm going to ask all of our friends and guests in the seats and in the stands to please wait until our students have left the gymnasium. At this time, the class of 2012 will be recessing to Procession of the Chosen.